Hello and good morning. Welcome in our live trading room, 11th of April, Friday, just before the weekend. So let's start with quick risk warning, and then let's go through the currency pairs, okay? So live trading room, FX Advisor live trading room has an educational purpose only. Trading foreign exchange market on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all or even more than your initial investment. Please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Again, welcome, and let's start with commodity currencies. And 2 days ago, noticed, yeah, 2 days ago, I wrote the comment that within the next 48 hours I'm expecting weaker Kiwi and weaker Australian dollar. There you go. And there we go. Yesterday we sent out alert in regards to Kiwi and Canadian dollar. So let's go through the Kiwi first. Okay. So there you go. Weekly chart as shown on our website within the alert. It's all about the weekly close. Look like we get back below this resistance. So some supply here, some supply here, and now even more, but of course it's just beginning of Friday, right? But also we put daily chart, which looks bearish. Of course we are not short yet, as I wrote, that if we are going to finish like this, then I'm looking to short during some move towards 87, and it's not happened yet. Nice sell-off during the Tokyo session, and we are going back toward the end opening level. Okay. Now what can we expect? On the hourly chart, some guys can see like double top, okay, and we already moved by this distance. Okay, what I'm looking at, me personally, there was some demand zone here Wednesday, right? After the minutes. but this one was better. Okay, so we broke down through this demand zone, which is not demand zone anymore, and we hold this 86.25 demand zone. So first thing, this move to the downside going through this support is saying something. Now, as I mentioned, I'm looking to sell, and based on hourly chart I can see two places. One slightly below 87, okay. The second one around 87, so even three places, and third one here. Okay. So I'm expecting some supplies levels are going to be hit soon, but I would like to know which one shall I use. So I can use our simple measure, this strong move to the downside, right? Okay. So most probably we are going to, most probably I'm going to skip this one, and based on this previous support now resistance, I'm going to watch this one around 87.05. Okay. Let's take a look what's going on 30-minute chart. Just one moment. Just one moment, guys, sorry. Okay. So now I know this one was broken, right? Pullback. Now I took the measure from here to here, and I'm not looking at this one, I'm gonna look at this one. Now let's go to 30-minute chart. Okay. And here you go. Previous resistance, support, support, bam. Okay. So now, on a 30-minute chart, as I mentioned, it's the same, or it was the same supply zone, demand zone on hourly, right? And we went through without reaction at this level. So there is no demand anymore. The demand disappeared. I mean, the supply overtook the demand here. Okay. Now, we have something here, and we are testing the supply zone right now. So if the supply here was bigger than the demand here, so most probably some orders, unfilled orders left here. Okay, so let's take a look closer on it. So that's the selling level. We still didn't hit the selling level, and it's around 86.70. Eventual stop is 86 plus spread. So 86.84 is the high here. So I would put slightly higher by 2 pips plus spread, right? So 86.70, 86.86 is giving us 16 pips. Do we have at least 2 to 1 to the downside? Do we have 32 pips to here? 70 to 25, it's like 45. So almost 3 to 1. So intraday, I would use this. I would definitely use this selling zone. But one moment, guys, because we have one more here and we fall down testing this one, but this supply here overtook this one. Let's take a look on 15-minute chart. Oh, even better, guys. So not 70, I would wait for 74. I would wait for 74 with the same stop, right? Because this supply here was bigger than demand here. Okay, so that's 10 pips stop loss here. Definitely intraday I'm going to take it. Okay. The thing is that on 15-minute chart we took out the trend line, and the thing is, if we are going to take out this supply zone, then most probably we are going back here. Okay. So let me place the order. $86.74. My stop is going to be 86 plus spread, so 86 beat. Okay. So I'm gonna reach like 12. And here is some intraday demand 86 somewhere here. So one moment. So my intraday trade, it's like 86.41, let's say, plus spread I'm going to place my limit at 46, so it's giving like 28 with 12, slightly above 2-1 intraday trade. It's not that bad, and I'm going to monitor that trade if we are going to break that level. But as of now, for our live trading room, I'm going to place a limit to buy back at 46. Okay, so here we're done. Because if we are going to break that level, then there's nothing for sure, but most probably based on this, based on that measure, we can easily go again toward 87 plus. Okay. Anything on 5 minutes? Yeah, that's nice base here. Bam. Okay. So we are going to watch on QE this level, and okay. As I mentioned 2 days ago, that I'm expecting Kiwi and Aussie weakening. I don't have crystal ball, but it happened this time. Okay. Nice. Now, euro dollar. As I wrote in evening comment, that market took me out of the market, stopped me out on my short euro dollar I had with tight stop. So my plan went down, right? I mean the short from 38.70ish toward 38.20, then some stops and buying around 38. Doesn't work anymore. The thing is that we have on daily. Okay, we have this strong supply zone here. Actually, I don't know if it's strong. Looks like. So we have this supply zone, 39.17, 39.43, around 30-35 pips on daily. And on daily, based on this last move, we have demand zone 37.15 or 20. Okay. So would you sell with 30 pips stop to get almost 200? Yesterday the trade was based on this type of formation, right? So 1, 2, 3, this low confirmed this high, and the new low confirmed this high. So we were looking to sell with tight stop, right? That's why we took the short here. And here it's slightly higher. One moment, sorry. Okay, there you go. This time we are approaching supply zone. This time we are approaching supply zone. And there is a big chance, as I mentioned, that we are going to hit 140, 140, 40, but based only, because it's quite important, guys, okay? It's quite important, as I'm using few different strategies. And I was looking to buy euro on dip, right? Around 38. Unfortunately, then I was thinking about buying, as I wrote in the comment yesterday, around 38, 50, 40. There was no pullback as well, right? There was no pullback. Now, look guys, how strong we move from this level. And we never get back to that level. So based on supply and demand, again, I have to do, how to say in English, in Polish, it means that you shouldn't move into the water second time. But anyway, this is going to be based on the supply demand. Okay? This is going to be based on supply and demand. Daily chart. Now, let's take a look what's going on hourly. Let's take a look what's going on hourly. Okay, so we have those lines here, so let's do this. Okay. Okay. Just one moment, because just not to mix things up. The red should be green as daily. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, guys. Okay. What do we have and where on hourly chart? Can you see the strongest move based on what we have here? So the strongest move was from here. Bam. Now, okay, let's put the line 3807. Intraday should be like this. Now, bam, almost hit intraday and pullback. Let's see. And the stop for intraday should be above here. 39.24. So like 17 pips, but intraday, right? So if we want to take the trade based on the intraday supply, like 1 hour chart supply zone, then we have to take a look where the first demand is. And if it's 2 to 1. Yeah, it is. The first is around 38.67. That's the potential demand zone. So 39.08, 68, 40 pips, risking 17. Nice. Okay, but let's take a look if we have correct one. Yeah, we have correct one. So looks like the supply 1-2 pips earlier came in, and it's a strong supply, believe me guys. Most probably it's strong supply based on this daily chart, but intraday on 1 hour chart we have it slightly lower, right? We hit that level. I'm going to watch for daily supply, and I'm not going to watch for 37.60 for 40 pips. I'm going to watch for this trade I've showed you, right? For this one, for 200 pips. So I'm waiting for 39.18, 39.19, 39.16, somewhere there, right? With euro dollar. And I'm looking for this trade based on the daily supply demand zone. Of course, I'm not a blind man, right? And I'm not a crazy guy. Of course, I'm going to watch all those demand zones on hourly. Of course, even if I have a trade on daily, I'm going to watch what's going on all those demand zones here and final 38 here. Because as I mentioned, as long as we are above 38, looks like we have the appetite to go higher. Okay? So of course I'm going to watch that zones, and if anything is going to tell me, okay Piotr, if you are short from somewhere here, right, on daily, and we are 50 pips plus, and looks like this first demand zone is respected, then I'm gonna to move the stop to entry, or I'm gonna to close half, whatever, right? Maybe even I'll be able to take everything here or here from the short side, took small long, and reopen the short. But guys, I'm going to watch that levels, right? But that's on hourly. I'm going to take the trade. I'm going to take the trade based on daily, based on supply and demand. So I do have nice supply zone, and I do have nice demand zone, but it's well below 38. Do you remember, guys, this 37, 40, 37 was taken out? Huh? But anyway, we were able to move higher from here. Took all the stops and move higher. So here is new demand zone. Here is a new demand zone. It could be that based on this and this demand, right? Can you see? It could be, but anyways, 200 pips from current level. So that's what I'm looking for on euro dollar. And as I mentioned, I do respect intraday levels. And as I mentioned, I can take long towards 40, 40, 40. But I spent some time yesterday with euro dollar chart, and I was looking at this supply zone, and it's like, for me, I have to take the risk here. I'll show you again. Of course, we can easily go higher to test 140. Of course, it could happen, but there it should be some supply here, some unfilled orders. Okay. Here is still below our entry level. We are watching euro dollar here. Okay. Dollar yen. I had some intraday position. I've been stopped out as well. I've been stopped out as well as euro dollar. So yesterday was not super day for me, but it happened. They went lower than I thought. Here on daily. We have this nice demand zone. The thing is that we went deep into that zone, right? It looks like we were trying to react here. Okay. Friday, on Wednesday, we were trying to react on Wednesday. Okay. But then strong supply came in Thursday, but still within that zone and still within some trend line, and there is still some demand going on. And we are still within demand zone. So definitely it's not a place to sell. Now, I mean here, right, at support, there was completely no way to sell. Now, we had like Riley, right, Riley, based Riley, and we start falling from here. Okay. Now, we went straight from the previous base, and we are trying to react here. But it's also visible support. Some orders has been filled already. What do I expect? Now most probably we have strong fight. We have strong fight, but what can happen? There is two possibilities today. We were trying to react here, and right, and we took out that low next day. Okay. Now we are trying to react while we are in a very deep in this demand zone. So definitely there are some buying orders. But most probably right now we are hitting supply zone here. Remember I mentioned yesterday that every uptick on the yen crosses we found the sellers. Uptick we found the sellers. So there are plenty of sellers, and there was a very small reaction, and next day, bam. And we are right now around that level where supply, because there was some demand here, right? So we are, and there was some demand here, and supply was bigger next day. So we are around, most probably we are around supply zone now. What can we see on hourly? Nothing special. That could be some supply zone. Because I mentioned, like Wednesday, I mentioned that okay, I would be, I could be the seller, right? Sorry. I could be the seller, but around 102.55, and we never seen that level. So 102.04 eventually. But guys, if someone wants to sell, but be extremely careful because we are still within the strong demand zone. So as I mentioned, there is a strong fight. Okay. So eventually some intraday sellers could come around 102.04. 102.04, it's yesterday high and the previous day high. So that's the levels. But still we are within that strong demand zone, so we can easily push through this supply zone. Okay, so be very careful. Just 1 second. Just one moment, guys. Okay. As we can see, there is some supply on euro dollar. Okay. So let's check other crosses. Similar situation on EuroJPY. Overall, we can say that we have a range. No doubt about it. Okay. Here, some supply zone, which has been tested 2 days later. One, and again, here. And again, move was deep into the selling zone, so plenty of selling orders have been filled already, or as I'm saying sometimes, if the view of the liquidity guys is the same like retail guys, we have some supply here. Supply here. And retail guy wants to sell. So the liquidity providers have to buy here from them, right? Like, let's say Goldman Sachs, even if his view is to the downside, as Goldman is liquidity provider, so first he has to buy at resistance, guys. Goldman Sachs, for example, has to buy at resistance from retail guys, even if his view is to the downside. So if his view is to the downside, he provided some liquidity. So first, Goldman bought at resistance to have happy clients, which they were sellers, and they have some stops. So Goldman will push prices even higher, right? To stop retail guys. If retail guy is short at some level and have stop higher, means that it's going to buy at higher levels. So if there is a stop activation above some level, then easily retail guys buying back, and Goldman can unload the long they bought at resistance, right? That's why I'm saying always that with supply and demand, there is a plenty of stuff you can find in the internet, but no one is going to tell you that gold. I mean, that's the simple supply, demand, and most examples in the net, it's like place your order to sell here, place your order to buy here, stop here, and that's it. No one is going to tell you that first, if the view of the liquidity providers is the same like yours, it could be some stop hunting. So one could say, okay, but it's not anymore the demand zone. It depends about the reaction. If there is a like just tiny wick, right? So we will know that it was some kind of the manipulation. Because otherwise, how come if big guys and small guys got the same view, so how come who is going to sell, right? So don't dream there is a plenty of manipulation in FX market. Now, and we hit that level. Here we have some demands on based on the right. So pretty much that's it range. And we hit that demand zone. deeply, not to the point, deeply into the demand zone, and we react again. So I would be very careful with dollar yen and euro yen, but as we know, Aussie is weakening. So let's take a look. Aussie dollar. We were waiting. Remember last week we had a sell order but not executed. Few pips missed, but we also have great Euro JPY trade, right? So we had limit order to sell on Aussie and we went shorted market on Euro JPY. Do you remember? Okay. So what's going on with Aussie? Nothing special I can see on weekly. That's our supply zone. One more time, sorry. Yeah. That's our supply zone. Look more to the left. There was nice demand zone, right guys? Look, we hit that demand zone here. We had a reaction and then Niagara Falls. I mean, supply was bigger than demand. So this become supply zone based on the move from that level, okay? And really last week we missed it by just some few pips. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can you see? Yeah, here. So we missed by just few pips. Bam, to the downside. There's two possibilities. The first one, that supply was so huge, and the second, it could be some kind of the manipulation. Everyone was selling, right? We didn't hit the supply level. Everyone was selling, so now big guys can push it, cleaning some stops and hit exactly the supply level. So I don't know what's going to happen. I know that we have some visible support but slightly lower, and we have 20 daily and still plenty of space to go there. So I would rather go with, we'll try to go with Aussie yen instead of dollar yen or euro yen based on the current market situation, the Aussie Kiwi weakening, right? New Zealand is close to our opening level. I haven't heard the execution yet. It's, I can see 72. And before we finish, Let's check British pound. Actually, we are on the beginning of the month, but monthly and weekly looks similar. But this resistance around 70.30 to 71.70 is visible and has been tested here, so we cannot rule it out move toward that zone, but it's monthly, so plenty of time. Now weekly, of course we have few more hours, but looks like some small supply coming in, some profit takers, right, on weekly. First line of demand and second. Okay, now daily. On daily, the demand is slightly lower. And some hesitation yesterday. Most probably we are going to have inside day today. On 1 hour chart, we tested that line, right? Remember, I've shown you on Wednesday most probably. And we pushed higher. Not that clear for me. If we are talking about the British pound, not that clear for me. Let's try to compare to Euro British pound. That's the interesting. We move out, we get back, and we're trying to move out again. If we are going, and there was some supply base on the 20 weekly, right, last week. We are trying to break below and reaction to the upside. I would say I would wait until the end of the day. If we are going to close anyway below that level, then I would join the party to the short side. If we are going to finish like today, then maybe one more pullback to the line. Still we are below 20 weekly. Here's some supply we tested. Similar situation on daily. The supply is higher. it here. So let's see what's going to happen. Not clear for me. Guys, I'm short with QE, right? Now let's see what's going to happen. And the last one today, very tricky stuff if we are talking about the stocks. Strong sell-off yesterday, strong buying 2 days and 3 days ago, strong selling 4 and 5 days ago. Okay. Monthly doesn't look good, but it's first decade of the month. Weekly is ugly, but still above 20 exponential moving average. And within some visible, no, sorry, it has been broken. Of course, it's important thing where we are going to close. So taking into the consideration that we are above 20 weekly exponential moving average, we are close to visible support. There is a chance that we are going to see higher prices today. So one of the reasons the guys are buying some Japanese crosses, that could be the reason, right? They still believe we can finish higher. And as I mentioned within one of our comments that there is a chance we are going to survive during the earnings season, and we are going to see real sell-off later on. I mean sell-off still as a correction, but real one correction, like maybe 10%, right? Not 1-2%. Now daily, we close below visible support. That's important. Of course, if we are going to go back above, and on weekly we are going to close above that support, then everyone will say, okay, there was a false break, bye, 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 bye. So here and here are next levels, right? So that's tricky. That's very tricky, I would say. But there was no huge upticks yesterday on S&P. I was watching. It was like sell, 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 sell whole day. Sometimes during the US session is like, or more than 50% of the time, if there is even if there is a trending day, so there is a beginning, bam, bam, bam. Lunch session, we have some, we're trying, maybe not reversing, but trying to push it higher, and within the last 1.5 hour, last hour, then is continuation. Yesterday was like bam, one-way ticket. The thing is that my colleague pointed out yesterday that there is the highest level of the margin buyers. So if you want to stop out these guys, just enough to push some prices lower, right, and they will have a margin call, and then Niagara falls because of the stop orders. I wouldn't say that it's going to be like another flash crash, but it could go ugly. So be careful, guys, right? Okay, USA. I would say that we may hit that level supply zone during the US session. So be careful there. Okay. Guys, that's it from me. We just finished another week. The time is flying, come on. Anyway, watching carefully. Kiwi has been executed here. Waiting for euro dollar. Why I just to confirm why I choose the Kiwi instead of Aussie, because at this moment most probably Aussie Kiwi was above 108. But again, it's small 0.25, and here we are fighting. Do you remember this weekly? We are trying to break above the line, and we were at some very moment during the Asia session, we were above 20 weekly moving average. But maybe I'm going to join with Aussie as well, because I was expecting both of them are going to weaken, so I can still add some 0.25 during the US session, right? If my Kiwi will survive. Okay, anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Don't trade too much later on. Remember that during the late US session, the only American guys will make a trade, some lower liquidity, some ugly action possible, and especially with Japanese crosses, so be very careful, guys. Have a great weekend. Please check our website for update in regards to next live trading rooms. And that's it from me. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.